Okay. I think the sooner I just go into doing it, I think that's be better. All right. Here we go. My HBCU don't. My HBCU won't. My HBCU don't care not if you ain't got connections.
To have a girl like her, just my imagination running away with me. Just my imagination running away with me. So just my imagination running away with me. Just my imagination to have a girl like her running away with me. Just my imagination running away.
It's just my imagination running away with me. It's just my imagination running away with me.
Someone once told me that a true miracle is a shift in perspective. Oh God, that was so embarrassing. I felt like I need to be doing something more crunk, get into it. But I'm just at such a loss right now. And yeah, and as I went into singing it, I was like, I almost started laughing. So it's like, power through it. Just do it. Because I just, if I delayed it any longer, I would have had to do like 20 retakes, and I'm like, no. Um, I wish I was better at editing so I could just get a clip from somewhere and just put the audio in there. Well, I could probably do that. I'm just fairly lazy right now, at the moment. So you're getting shitty quality for a while. um, well, like even that intro was hysterical, and the ending, the outro, I guess is what you call that. Yeah, the outro. I couldn't be bothered to try to figure out how to flip the image, right? So I'm just gonna put my IG and Twitter in the description. Wow, I have a description now. I'm actually doing this. Okay, great. Well, I am a proud graduate. um, I'm proud that I did it and I graduated, I suppose, because it's not an easy feat with the asshole professors that there are out there and the extra hoops and hurdles, flaming hoops, hoops that are on fire, and obstacle courses of demonic nature that they put together. I mean, as if it's not challenging enough, to pay your tuition. And especially if you have other life obligations, let's say you're a parent or something, or you're independent, you have rent to pay, so you have a job and all this other stuff. I mean, yeah, but that's an entirely different story. I took an African literature course my final semester, and yeah. Anywho, I I went to an HBCU. That is a historically black college or university. Here is this it? Yep. Here's my diploma. And I majored in, can you see that? Yeah, psychology. I want to be a social psychologist. And there may be master's degree programs out there for that. Yeah, I want to spend 24/7 of my life and my days and every day studying and researching social phenomenon. So I figured a PhD would be best, my best investment, or just do it, right? I hate school, so I was like, I'm gonna fly away. I'm gonna go to Japan and get away for a while. And well, I know how that turned out. And after getting back, after surviving that experience, I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna, just gonna sign up for prison. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into it, and for what, 3 to 4 years, depending on what my whole, at this point I probably already have my thesis and everything. Like, my mind is just always going, right? So I have all these research ideas, and that's why I'm doing this, just cathartic, really. Catharsis, that's what I'm looking for. Catharsis of just talking about all these social topics that have just been so pressing on my mind, and I just want to get them out, okay? And if you haven't noticed, I have a lot more energy because my sleep pattern has normalized for the most part. Last night was pretty weird. Just gonna put that out there. It was pretty weird, and I didn't go to bed until like 2 a.m. like actually fall asleep. It was a very, very strange night. Yeah, I still slept. And so here I am right now in the afternoon. It is the afternoon. I got an associate's degree from Cedar Valley College. I got it in, what's that? General science. And yeah. Let me just grab both of these and show you just how much I care about them. Don't care at all. They're necessary evils, actually. They really are. I'll get into that in just a moment. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying just a minute ago, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Have you ever seen the movie Paper Chasers? It's about a young man who I believe is studying at Harvard Law School, and he's like so passionate first when he goes in. He's like, I'm gonna get that professor to notice me. Apparently there's another asshole professor, right, who, he had really large, classes, lectures, of 100 plus more students probably. The rooms were pretty large. This is a movie, I believe, that was filmed in 1980s or 1970s. It's an older film. And pretty much the synopsis, I'll say, is this man, he's just like, he's so excited. He's like, I'm going to get that degree. I'm going to make it a big impression on this hard to please professor. And I'm just going to be at the top of my game, graduating law school at the top of my class, blah, 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 right? And he gets into it, and with the other things that come along in his life, as well as just how much this professor that he's trying to kiss ass to, just doesn't give a fuck. Like, the professor's just like, what was your name again? Who are you? After this dude did all of this stuff, right? And he graduated. He got his piece of paper. He got his diploma. Yet the ending scene is him throwing it into the sea. Like, he's at the beach somewhere with his chick. They had their drama and stuff. And he's at the beach somewhere, and he just throws it into the wind. Like, gone with the wind. That's exactly how I feel. I honestly felt lied to. My final year, just to give you a little backstory, due to my, I would say, unconventional upbringing and health complications I had as a kid, a child, and a youth, I did not have a traditional schooling. For most of those years, I was homeschooled from, say, about what, 12 and up, and then I had to just drop out completely of schooling due to my health complications. And so when I was 18, I was finally well enough to do something. So at that point, it was either take another 3 to 4 years to finish my high school, or my high school diploma, or GED. And I was just like, hey, it's a good enough diploma. GED, right? So I just got that, and I took off. I went to community college to rack up scholarships, really, so that I could afford university to finish out my bachelor's degree. And I finished my associates in about a year. It's a regularly 2-year degree. Yeah, I just took classes year round, and I finished that, and I transferred right away to my university, and I was there for 3 years. I could have been there for 2. Yet I was I was in a dilemma with my major, or majors, should I say. I started off a biochemistry major because I initially planned to go to medical school, and that's a story. And then I added psychology, so I was a double major at a point in time, and I dropped biochemistry, and I just said, fuck it, I love psychology. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this thing, but at least I'm going to enjoy the final year of my time here, because that also, dropping one, really, the biochemistry, it allowed me to graduate a lot earlier than was actually the projected graduation date. And so it was my final semester. At the start, I was like studying for my exit exam, and I was like, it just hit me. I was walking through the lab of my department. I was gonna go study, and I just saw this poster on the wall and said, graduate degree program in social psychology. And I was like, what's social psychology? And it's history from there. Yeah, quite honestly, I just found myself, before I even came to that, what am I gonna do with this thing? I was just like, what the hell did I even come to university, college for? Because the adults in my life, my family, told me, you need this. Oh, you're gonna need it. Like my life was just gonna be so fucking miserable if I didn't have this piece of paper, right? Like if I were to, you need to be educated. You need that education, If I didn't have that, then I wasn't gonna be happy. I was gonna be so miserable. And that was the best choice, the best life path, the best path for me. Everything's paved. Choose this. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier. The wig. In the intro, I did a dry braid out, and it did not look much better. So I put some, what was it? Some hairspray and just like some Carol's Daughter stuff that I didn't really like using on my real hair. I put it on this, and then I like did a twist and braid out combination, and it looks a lot better. Like in the mirror, it looks a lot more frizzy at the top, but here in the camera, it looks 10 times better. So just wanted to throw that out there. So anyway, yeah, like the degree was the source of all life happiness, and I just listened to them because I was that type of youth, that type of child, where I looked at those who seemed to have it all together, like do this, do that, and especially because of my family dynamics and the examples that I quite often saw growing up. And I said, I don't want to live this life. I want to live a better life. And the better life was always combined and paired with this degree, this continued education, right? And and the undergrad was never enough either. This is a starting point, and then you're gonna go up a level. At least get a master's, right? Is what would always be said. And I felt cheated. I did. Before I really even knew what I was actually doing, it was in my senior year. Well, really, yeah, senior, because I was a senior twice. Yeah, my credits transferred over from my community college. And so if I had known exactly what I wanted to do, like really, really knew, um, I would have only been at the university for 2 years and not three. I had enough credits to graduate in that second year that I was there. Um, yeah, I didn't. I thought I wanted to be a doctor because that was the, oh, medicine, medical career, like that was the coup de grace of careers that my family painted up. My uncle, he had a successful dermatology practice. He's retired now. My aunt, she had her medical practice, and my mom just worshiped the ground that they walked on. And because they could afford to travel and live comfortably, have nice houses, nice cars, whatever, 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 right? And that was just like the pedestal image. Do this, chase this, do this, chase this, get this. And my family always underestimated me because of my health complications. They never really thought that I was really going to make much of my life, or I was really going to be much of anything. So all I really had to go on was my own dreams, and my own belief in myself, really. Um, my mom didn't really believe either. They just thought that I was going to be at home unwell for just forever, until I died, I suppose. And so they were all really shocked when I just was like, I'm gonna believe in myself. And I just, each level, each step, community college, then university, and then how fast everything, how I just hit the ground running. And I did that because I'm like, I'm gonna prove you all wrong. I'm not, don't underestimate me. I'm capable. I'm capable of so much more than you think I am. And I sought to prove that by getting the degree, the education that they revered, they worshipped, which was becoming a doctor. And I was actually considering the ND PhD, which is pretty much your researching doctor. I did what's it called? Graduate school visitations when I was an undergrad, and still a biochemistry major. And oh my God, I saw the ND PhD students, and a lot of them had families because it takes a big chunk of your life, and so you'll be 35 or something. Let's say you start, like 20s, whatever, and then and you've met someone, you've had kids, and I mean they were just so bogged down, like they barely had enough family time and enough time to really just live. Like most of their days were spent in the lab, and then when they weren't in the lab, they were in rotations for their MD portion. And gosh, I was just really not feeling it. And I found myself, it was like a forced effort. Come on, come on, come on. No, this is the best path. Want to do this, Shara. Want it. Stop being lazy. Stop. Get some motivation. I just thought I was being lazy. I just thought, oh, come on, Shara, just do it. Just do it. And I couldn't, ever since my first year, my first transfer year to university, in that first semester, I remember, my university had this thing called chapel, and that was where they did all their announcements and club spotlights and all of that. A hoax. Anyway, yeah, the club spotlight was for psychology, the psychology club. And ever since that, even during my orientation to university, we did like the campus tour, the walk around. Here's where your classes are if you're in this major. Here's where your classes are if you're in that major. And the psychology department always just called to me, and I wanted to go there so bad. Yet I was unaware of my own desires because I was conditioned into believing, everything was always about money. Oh, so, no, they don't make that much money. Become a doctor, become a lawyer, become a that, become a this, become a that. And it was just, my brain was just so wrapped up in that I felt the pull of my heart, yet my mind, there was this divide. And so I look at it, my eyes would wander, and I'm like, okay, I'm a biochemistry major. I'm gonna do this, get into the swing of things. And in the end, I was just so miserable, and it took a toll on my own mental well-being. I was having a lot of anxiety because that semester, it was the second semester of my second year of university. I I had the heaviest load I had ever had. I had cleared out the the prerequisites, I suppose, because I wasn't prepared to be a chemistry major. I was prepared to be a biology major. So I made sure I took those things, but the university convinced me, no, biochemistry is the way to go if you're trying to get into medical school. So I was like, okay. I was already really so over it. And I myself was benumbed to how over it I already was. So I got into this major. I'm just like going through the routine, the mundanities of everything, going through the motions. And by the time the second semester, I had already added psychology as a second major at this point. So I just had a shit ton of credits and classes that I was taking. And I can't even quite honestly remember all the classes I was taking. I remember the main three that really just gave me a run for my money. Genetics, analytical chemistry, and organic chemistry part 2. I had taken part 1 in the previous semester, and I was taking the second part. And so these are 3 classes, yet with the labs, it's actually more like 6 classes. No, it is. It is 6 classes because the labs are in addition to. Yeah, so I was taking 6 classes in addition to the other classes I was taking. And Lord, good God, man. I was just so dead inside. I had no motivation whatsoever. Wow, it is hot in here. Ooh. I had no motivation whatsoever to continue. I just needed to get away from it. I just couldn't. And then the desire to be in the psychology department intensified. I just kept saying, man, I just want to be in that department. I want to stop coming over to this dungeon of torture, which was the chemistry department, the biology chemistry complex. I just wanted to stop going over there and just stay at my department. My department. I really my heart just longed to just be there. And I said, you know what? If all I get is a year, I just want to at least spend 1 full year there where that's my department, my main department. And I was torn between because the status, the classism. Oh, you're a double major? Ooh, whoa. And especially since psychology has always just really been a discipline, as it would be called, that's frowned upon, like, and already my family, yeah, they just really weren't feeling it either. And so I was just like, I was torn between ego and passion. I had discovered my true passion, and I was afraid to follow that because I was afraid of being miserable. I took a chance, and no, my life is horrible now. I'm broke, or I'm not happy. I wish I had a. That's how it's always painted out. No, let's do this, because if you won't, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna wish and wish, because the people that are telling you that regret their life. They think that it's because they didn't do this, and the other. It's really because they did not explore their desires. They did not get to know themselves. And they were too afraid to truly follow their heart's desire. So they experienced a challenging time, and then we're led to believe, oh, it's because I didn't follow this path paved out for me by my parents or by my family or by, they, whoever they are, them, the people who know, when they really don't know. They don't know you. They don't know you. Only you truly know you and what you want to do, what you love, and what you will be passionate about for a lifetime. There's a quote that says, interest is what gets you, passion is what keeps you. Passion is what keeps you there. There's a zillion things that you can be interested in. I guess, yeah. There's only like one thing, really truly one thing that you'll be passionate about. That even through the hurdles that you may have to jump, giving up, doing something different is never a thought that crosses your mind. How can you ever regret something like that, a choice like that? How can you ever regret? Honestly and truly. We live in a world today where it's all about the cookie cutter road. What's cut out? Oh, everyone's doing this. Oh, this is job security. Okay. Oh, all right, let me do this. And that's why you have so many doctors with very poor bedside manners. Nurses, medical professionals who just really don't care that like what's necessary, what's needed really. I mean, you're talking about people whose health is impaired, sick people. They need all the compassion and love that they can get. And I have my own personal experience with this for sure, due to my extensive medical history. They need all the patience in the world because health dilemmas are not so easily solved. Case by case, and each case really begs for that undivided attention and care, really. And with the way the medical system is today, it's all about profit and gain. The pharmaceuticals, right? Pharmaceuticals. It's all about profit gain. It's not so much about the well-being of those who are consuming these services and the products and the care. There's so much more that I can say, and I will go into that at a later date. Yet the whole takeaway here is passion. Passion will be that fire that drives you through whatever may come up. Even after you're in the profession, I can tell you there's so many doctors, so many people out there. I mean, the requirements to even this piece of hair, to even becoming a conventional medicine practicing physician of some sort, or medical professional person, already extensive in and of itself. They've just upped the requirements for PAs, where PAs are all pretty much already MDs. So it's like you might as well just go to medical school at this point, like the requirements have just been upped and upped and upped, and it's like you have to do all of that. And so by the time you take your boards and you get certified and you are licensed to get in the job, it's like, I've done my time. That's the attitude you get. I've done my time. You want me to go and research your mystery diagnosis? Fuck that, man. I don't know. Take some antibiotics. That's the kind of approach you get now. And I'm not saying all doctors. I'm just saying a lot. A lot. Passion is the driving force to keep going and to really not give up. Not lose that motivation. Is more hair. Okay, I just keep filling the strand of hair. Not throw in the towel. And just keeps you, it just makes you feel so alive. It keeps you feeling so alive. And so that is what I'm trying to say, or what I'm saying. I believe so, I hope. If you think you need to get that piece of paper You don't. Not if your passion does not require it. Mine's does. So I gotta go and get another piece of paper. I'm going to, yes. Yet if yours doesn't, don't be afraid to do what is calling to you. If you want to, like, I don't know, travel the world or pursue something that, you know, may take experiments, trials, trial and error. Do that. That is what it means to live. Don't think that some piece of paper is going to make you happy, make you happy, and solve all of your problems. No, get to know yourself. Take that time to get to know yourself. You that's what it means to experience life. That's what the experience this is, or that's what this experience is. We're all souls having a human experience. Really experience what it is to be human and get to know your human self. Don't think that you need to jump into it. Don't let others pressure you into getting that degree or taking a path that intuitively does not feel like it is for you. At least right now. It may be at some point in the future, and that's okay. Time is multi-dimensional. There is no such thing as a timeline. There really isn't. So yeah, and by the way, I was a very active, I've always been a very academic person. I co-authored this book. Where is it at? The president of my university, Shara, thank you for allowing God to use you. We are blessed. Glad you're blessed. Yeah, they treated me like shit, and that is another story to go into. I wrote chapter 2, like it's right here. You can see that was when I was still biochemistry, and they edited the mess out of what I wrote. They told me, that's how I feel about that. They told me to write 8 pages, single space of content. I did that. I didn't really know. I mean, they made me think like it was going to be this big publication thing, not like that thin little book you just saw. And so I'm like, okay. And I stayed up like all night until 6 a.m. typing this thing. And I sent it in to them. And then they don't have the nerve to later let's say, ooh, wow, you wrote a lot. Did you not tell me to write all that? Oh, y'all, I was livid. Anyway, another story again. Another story. Yeah, I don't even, when I read that, I'm like, that's not my writing. I did not write that. It just, I was so mad. Okay. I was so mad. They edited the fuck out of it and it's shit now. It's just terrible. Okay. I don't even want my name on that. But anyway, another story. This video has gone on for long enough. Don't be afraid to listen to your heart. Truly and honestly. That is the experience of human. That's the human condition. Chasing what it is that makes you feel, that brings you to life, okay? That is something that will never leave you and you will never regret. And that's simply it. I almost forgot. Well, I almost forgot. I was avoiding miserableness by making myself miserable, essentially. I was miserable in the major, and I thought I'd be miserable leaving what was miserable for me at that time. Due to security. Oh no, this is a guaranteed thing. I'll be, financially secure. I'll have a secure profession. Blah, 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 blah. If you're miserable right now, what do you have to lose in changing something? Why preserve miserableness, unhappiness, when you have a door to potential joy, to potential lasting fulfillment? You may see it as a gamble, flipping the coin, yet it is so worth it. What do you have to lose? There's so much more to say on this. I'll just say, I said, if I'm gonna be miserable, I'm gonna fucking love it. I'm gonna be the most miserably happy person I can ever be. And let me tell you something. I have not once regretted my decision. It was foreign territory and the unknown. Yet it was such a freedom. I mean, it was just this gateway to being free and incredibly happy, and even more importantly, fulfilled.